Welcome back to another Talk Dragon Tuesday with RPW. I'm so excited. Alleviates, the creator of Wardragons.info, joins us today. So be sure to stick around. Now, before we get this video started, I kind of want to point out Chunk is only breedable during this event. So you only have a few more hours to get in there, and rumor has it this will be your only chance to get him. And I know he's not, very strong. He's not able to take out a lot of stuff, as you'll see with these farms on the micro dock base. But the problem with this is if you don't get him, and it does unlock something pretty spectacular in the future, because as they say, he's breedable, then you may miss out on the next step to something that's pretty great. So be sure to get in there before they close out this event and get him bred out. Now, when it comes to this dragon, I must say the belly flop is hilarious. I cannot believe they even thought of this, but seriously, cute April Fool's joke on all of us, definitely. So if you didn't get him, guys, like I said, you only have a few more hours before this event goes down. So hop off here real quick, go and get him bred, and come back and finish this video. Okay, so let's get into the next bit of business. Unless you live under a rock and haven't heard, King of the Hill will be the next event, but it will be its last go. So make sure you enjoy the last chance in this event, but I want to also point out that when it comes to your chests, you're not going to get drops for this specific event where you get, for example, the barricades. So make sure you get in there and enjoy it and spend up all of the stuff you had from your past King of the Hill events. And we will be sad to see you go. All right, so our special guest today is Alleviates, and I really want to focus in on what she offers the community. So if you go over to her website, you will actually recognize her website right off the bat, because I generally pull it up in my videos a lot. And one of the things I really love about their website is that they have a calendar of events in here where you can go see what's coming up, but also to kind of help you predict what's coming in the future. They also have that spreadsheet I've showed you in the past where you can look and see the event history. And this is a very great tool to utilize in order to kind of get an idea of what might be coming up next. So it is a wonderful piece of history, a wonderful piece of information you should utilize. Now, I just kind of want to do a quick overview with you of her website, and then we're going to have her step in and kind of tell you a little bit about her and how she got the site started. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out is that they have all these links in here that you can utilize to help find yourself some really good information. For example, they have guides in here. And these guides, and this is the ones that I utilize and tell my team to go to. There's ones for bases where you can figure out, how you should build your base, the statistics, also about the runes on your monuments and your totems. And this is also where you will find information on last week's visitor, which was Adored, who does base audits. You can also find some information on breeding guides, the different types of special and event dragons they may have, and other dragons as well. So this is definitely a website to check out. They also have a really cool new feature, and it's not super new, but it's new to some of us, which is their really awesome academy. So she's going to tell us a little bit more about it. I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining us, Alleviates. I think I'm pronouncing that right. But anyways, let's let you take it over from here. So my first question for you is going to have to be, how long have you been playing War Dragons, and what got you started?
Hey, this is Alleviates with Wardragons.info. So I've been playing War Dragons since September of 2015. I got started because I saw an ad on another game that intrigued me. The ad was obviously for a War Dragons game. I immediately picked up a different device, downloaded War Dragons, and haven't stopped playing since.
That makes sense, since it's such an easy game to get addicted to. But if you were to give a new player your number one tip, what would that tip be?
My number one tip would be to use reputable sources of information as much as possible.
That is an awesome tip. Okay, so of all the events, which is your favorite and why?
Unfortunately, my favorite event is no longer being regularly run in the game, and that was the, quote, Dragon Games, unquote. The Dragon Games, otherwise known as the Dragon Olympics, was a fourfold event. It consisted of fortifying, fornicating, otherwise known as breeding, XP, and then a gauntlet segment, which was individual, not team. That event has not been seen since about 2016. These days, my favorite event would be breeding, because as someone who works full-time in a very demanding job and has a life outside the game, I don't get to spend much time on War Dragons, maybe an hour or two a day. So I work and plan pretty hard for breeding events. When the breeding event comes around, I'm very happy to meet my goal.
I agree. I think it is probably the most relaxing of the events. Okay, so my next question is, you've made your mission to help others within the community of War Dragons, and we are very appreciative of you doing this. So when you first began your website, helping the others within the community, what was your goal, and do you feel like you've made it, that you've reached it?
So back in 2016, around the time I got into the Creators Faction, I was making a website for my team, the Mad Hatters, at the time. It was just a centralized hub of info. And then I decided, why not just open it up for the entire player base? So I did. I called it Wardragons.info, and it got kind of popular. Since then, I've been trying to add fun things to it, such as player blogs, for example. Anybody can request a blog and have their own following. Look at royalpaynewife, for example. She has a new blog on my website that she uses to share her tips and guides and everything under the sun. Other folks have their own guides. There are folks who just like to rant, which is perfectly fine too. I have a blog on there where sometimes I rant, sometimes I tell a story. You can do anything you want with player blogs on Wardragons.info. Almost anything. Another cool new feature of Wardragons.info that's come along over the years has been the museum. The curator runs the museum. He has a weekly giveaway where one talented artist wins a value pack. It's also just a great place if you're not an artist, but a connoisseur of art, to go and look at some of the incredible dragon creations that players post every day, pretty much. We have Team Tout, which is a collection of team pages. Any team can request a page. I've got 100 or 200 pages up right now. The greatest benefit of having a team page at Wardragons.info is that you have an opportunity to get a unique URL. For example, if your team were the Mad Hatters, you could have Wardragons.info/Mad Hatters. What are you going to do with that link? Well, you can put it in your email signature, you could put it on social media, you could put it in the About You on your social media, in your About You on Twitter, in your About You on your Facebook page, your Facebook group, your chat groups. It's easy, fast advertising, just a simple URL or website link. And again, it's free. Recently, we came out with the Academy, which has been a huge success. The Academy also has free iOS and Google apps where you can go and take classes, mostly beginner and level, but we're going to be branching out further later down the road. There are classes in events, there are classes in basic flying, just about everything under the sun, and then some, like I said, more to come soon. So there are tons of various features on the website. I feel like I've met my goal and surpassed the original goal of, quote, being helpful. Always looking for other things, always looking for more contributors. Thinking out of the box, try to be the first one to do something different and do something that's going to help other players.
Yeah, that is the reason I always send people to your website. It is truly a remarkable website for everyone. So if my subscribers wanted to find your websites and the information that you share outside of what you've already shared with us, what would that be? I know that you have your website, but for example, social media accounts and so forth.
I have only one website, Wardragons.info, at least that pertains to War Dragons. I have links on Wardragons.info. If you click the little menu in the upper left corner, drop down will appear, and you can tap the Facebook to get to my Facebook page, the Twitter bird to get to my Twitter account. Those tags, though, are facebook.com/Wardragons.info for my page. For Twitter, my name is @StarCityDreamer. Then I have actually the YouTube channel of Odin on the YouTube icon on the drop down, and then I have an email icon that goes directly to my Wardragons.info email, Alleviates@Wardragons.info. In the bottom right of my website, Wardragons.info, there's a Facebook Messenger button where you can tap and actually send a message to my Wardragons.info Facebook page at any time if you need help. I actually get a ton of support requests there and try to assist people. If I can't, then I try to get them some decent help. Usually, if people write me on the Facebook Messenger app associated with my page, they've already been through support and are really just looking for a guide through the darkness. So help people there. Sometimes people just have general questions, but you can find my websites and social media accounts on the website. Again, just click the menu in the upper left corner, or just tap the Facebook button on the bottom right.
Awesome. I want to thank you again for coming in, and if anybody has any other questions,
anybody ever has any more, feel free to reach out and let me know. And I'd like to thank royalpaynewife for inviting me to be interviewed. Hope everybody has a great rest of their day.
No, the pleasure was all mine. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your amazing tips and websites with our viewers here. So yes, guys, make sure you go check out her website. She has a lot to share, and this is particularly special to me because if it wasn't for this website, I don't think I would have gotten the kickstart that I have. So Wardragons.info for me is also very personal because this website has helped me out tremendously when I began, and I still use it to this day. All right, guys, so that is it for today's video. Remember that we are having King of the Hill coming up next, but we should be having a breeding event thereafter, so be sure to be hitting those egg token missions so that you can be prepared for it. I would like to have a normal player on my show in the next couple weeks, and I really want to go over the fact that it's not just the creators faction that makes a lot of a difference within a player, but sometimes it's just your simple players. So I know personally I had a few players that helped me with my growth within my team. They don't have YouTube, blogs, or anything of that nature. So if you have somebody on your team that you feel would be a great candidate to be on this, then be sure to put that in the comments video below, because I would like to figure out what strives them to help their team. All right, guys, we will see you guys next time. I will see you guys probably tomorrow for another Beginner's Guide to War Dragon series. I probably won't start and do the PvP guide until Thursday, just because I want to wait until the actual event begins. And then, of course, we'll see you again Friday for a review. All right, so before you leave, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And guys, I appreciate your support by you subscribing to my channel. And if you want notifications, you can hit that bell. All right, happy hunting.